Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Lifted Podcast. My name is Peyton. Happy Monday or whatever day you're listening to this. Hope you're all having a great start of the week. As always, before we hop into this episode, I would ask if you guys could take the time and give this podcast a positive rating and review on whatever platform you're listening to it on. It really does help. It shows the algorithm that people are enjoying the show. It helps us grow, and it only takes a few seconds. Alright, happy Monday, you guys. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal start of the week. Today I wanted to talk about a topic that I feel like isn't talked about enough, honestly, which is crazy because I feel like everything's talked about in the fitness space nowadays. Today we're going to be talking about the timeline to achieve a quote-unquote summer body, and so many people seem to get this wrong because we decide all of a sudden come February, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get, my summer body in time, I'm gonna lose 20 pounds by summer, yada yada, every single year it's the same exact thing. And then it's just a vicious cycle of maybe you do lose some of the weight and you feel good for a little bit, but then you bounce back and you go back up, and maybe you don't have the time period to achieve those goals, and you end up, it gets harder and harder every year, and you just don't know why, and it's because you're not giving your body the appropriate amount of time to lose fat, so you're kind of just dropping weight. Could possibly be a lot of muscle mass dropping and just stuff like that. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is a realistic timeline of when you should ideally start if you want to get a quote-unquote summer body. There's no such thing as a summer body, I will say that, but I know we all know what it means. A lot of people, including myself, if I'm out on the beach, I probably want to be in one of my leaner states. Completely understandable. So now, don't hate on me for being oh my gosh, she thinks a summer body is a skinny body. No, I'm just saying, general population want to lose some weight. They want to slim down for the summer. And I think that's okay. If it makes you feel good, it makes you feel good. So, but before we hop into the episode, as always, if you guys are new here, this is called the Lifted Podcast. So at the start of every episode, I share something that lifted me the previous week, whether it be something going on in my life, whether it be something new that I got, a product, something I'm loving, anything like that just kind of bettered me or lifted me up the last week. And this week, I'm about to expose myself on how late I'm recording this. But I was thinking about my lift of the week, and I was sitting here struggling because today's Sunday as I'm recording this, and if you guys follow along with me, you know that I'm a Lions fan, and if you know me, there's a good chance you came from either Instagram or you came from TikTok, and if TikTok is one of those, yeah, double whammied last night, big time. So yeah, last night was rough, because if you guys don't know, don't watch football, the Lions lost last night. They were the number 1 seed, and they lost. So this was fully going to be our year. If the Lions were making it to the Super Bowl, it was this year. And before I yap your ear off about that, just know it hurt. So then I go on TikTok, and the cutoff was an hour early. And so Lions started losing. I go on TikTok, and it's yeah, this is gone now. It was a rough night, but I do have a lift for you guys besides that, because really going to expose myself on how late I'm recording this. TikTok's already back, so you can tell that it's the afternoon on Sunday when I'm recording this. But, we get things done. I did technically try to record this on Thursday, but my camera battery died because I'm recording this on YouTube now. So it's up to you guys on YouTube. I hope you guys enjoy watching my face, I guess. But yeah, my lift of this week, though, I had to do a little recap. Forget about last night, forget about what was going on, and actually think about what happened this week. So this week, I hired another business coach. If you guys listen to the podcast, you know that I have a business coach. I really went in depth about what it's like to invest in your business and stuff like that. It's pretty clickbaity title, because I would click on it. It was I invested $14K in myself or something like that. So if you guys want to learn more about why I hire and stuff like that, it's a good episode. It puts a good perspective on saving time and essentially saving money by putting money into things, because time is money at the end of the day. And if you can learn from someone else's mistakes way faster, why wouldn't you? But yeah, I hired another business coach 3 days ago now, and I'm very excited because my last business coach was, for lack of better terms to put it, like the feminine side of business. So it was a lot of community and like what feels good in your business and like building this strong community and like different designs and like vibes and energy behind your business and sharing in that way and like connecting with other people and all that stuff. That's, like I said, more of like the creativity side of things. And I mean, she talked about a lot of the like logistical things too. I loved working with her a lot, like nothing bad to say. But now I have a guy who specifically coaches fitness coaches. So whereas my last business coach coaches all sorts of different coaches, he is specifically fitness, and he is a lot more of the masculine side of business. So, you know, tracking my leads, tracking these things like numbers, you know, different like funnels, all of these things that are kind of more of the back end of the business, while my last business coach was all like front end stuff. So I'm getting the best of both worlds, and I am so excited to continue growing. It's been a crazy year already. I haven't even been in business for a year, but it's been a crazy year already, and I'm so excited to see where we go this year. 2025 is my 6-figure year. I'll say it a million times over because it's happening, and you guys are here to keep me accountable. But with all of that being said, let's actually hop into why you guys are here, timeline of getting that summer body, and I will explain things as I go. And I also want to let you guys know that it is possible to lose weight, quote unquote, fast, but it is not the optimal way to do things. And this video, podcast, whatever platform you're listening to it on, is basically going to tell you why. Alright, so let's talk about a healthy weight loss, a healthy fat loss. So let's say you wanted to lose 15 pounds by summer. That's a great goal. So it's January right now, and well, mid-January already. It's already towards the end of the month, which is insane, going by fast already. But say you want to lose 15 pounds by summer. First, we need to look at where you are starting. Let's say that you have been chronically dieting for a year. You have been eating 12 to 1400 calories for the last year. Your body has plateaued, you are holding on to fat, you don't know why, and that's where you're at. You should not be cutting for summer. If you are eating 1400 calories, you should not dip those calories any lower in order to get a quote-unquote summer body. What you want to go into at this phase is a reverse diet. So what that means is you are going to start slowly upping your caloric intake. And if you do this properly with resistance training and, you know, getting steps in and eating the right foods to reverse diet, there's a very good chance that you're going to end up liking your body composition more by the end of it anyways, and you did not need to cut your calories at all. You actually needed to increase your calories, which is something we see a lot with my clients, is they come to me not eating enough, I up their calories, they lose the weight, they feel better, their body's completely recomped, and they have energy throughout the day now. And if there comes a time where they do want to cut more drastically than maybe just lose the initial 10 pounds that maybe they were just holding on to from being stressed, now they can cut so much easier, and they can cut at such a higher caloric number that it makes it easier to cut, it makes it easier to maintain energy, and you just feel better. So ideally, you want to be working your way up. Start off small. Start off by tracking your calories, see where you're at. So if you are at that 1400 calorie mark, I challenge you to bump it up to somewhere between 1450 to 1500 calories. And then once your body adjusts to that, if you notice that there is no weight gain, if you don't feel gross at all, up the calories more to 1550, 1600. Go from there, and you want to go very, very slow. You're not just gonna increase the calories like every couple days or even every week for a lot of people. My metabolic rate adapts very slow to increase in calories and very, very fast to decreased calories. So I have to take cutting and bulking very, very slow for that reason, because if I cut too fast, my body adapts very fast, and I find myself in a very low calorie number very, very quickly, and still not where I want to be at the cut if I don't take it slow. And then for bulking, it takes a very long time for my body to adapt, so I will have to very slowly increase the calories, or else I start feeling gross, a little bit on the puffy side, holding on to weight, gaining weight pretty fast. So you need to learn your body and your metabolism. Now, what I said about my body might seem like kind of annoying, but look at it in the way of your body's always trying to protect you. So obviously, if you cut back calories and your body adapts fast to it, your body would have been phenomenal back in the days of famines, because you can hold on. Your body adapts to slow metabolism so fast. Your body it's looking to protect you. So let's not hate on our bodies for that. I know I've been guilty of it, of thinking it is so annoying, but technically it's a really useful protection mechanism. But is it useful today? Maybe not so much, but it's there in case we need it. But yeah, so you want to be slowly increasing those calories. So like I said, let's go back to that 1300. You're there. You want to be increasing anywhere between 50 to 100 calories either every week or every other week. Again, totally depending on how fast your body adapts. So let's say your body adapts to 100 calories every other week, or 50 calories every week, whatever, and you want to get up to a place that you are eating 1,700 calories. That's great. So you're starting at 1,300, you need to get to 1,700. That's 400 calories. If you're upping it 100 every 2 weeks, you got 8 weeks. So 8 weeks worth of going up in calories before you could even think about starting to cut calories. And ideally, you want to sit at whatever maintenance that you want to be at. Ideally, probably if you're an active person, you want it to be higher than 1,700 calories, depending on how much you do, depending on your height, depending on your weight. So if you're a very, very small person, 1,700 could be enough for you. But you want to maintain that from there, because if you immediately take that calorie number that you just worked 8 weeks to get to, and then immediately start to cut, your body's going to adapt real fast. So ideally, you want to take that number, stay at maintenance probably for like another month. So there you go. We're 12 weeks in, and we still haven't started a cut. So by now, it's probably April, mid-April, mid to end April right now. So now all of a sudden you have May and June is summer, depending on where you live. I'm in Florida, so technically summer starts in, March. But let's go common time period, we got June. So you're now mid to late April, you're 12 weeks in, and maybe right now you can start cutting slowly. So what you want to do from here is pretty much the same exact thing that you did with the reverse, is you are going to take it slow. You're not going to take that beautiful 1,700 calories that you just worked so hard to get up to and drop it back to 1,400. We're not doing that. No. We're going to slowly drop it. So you're starting off with 1,700 still, and maybe you just increase your steps. Maybe you walk another mile a day. Or maybe you drop 50 calories for that first week of the cut. See how you feel. A lot of people mess up their cuts so bad because they go all in. And I'm not just talking about calories. So even if you started your cut and you were like, okay, I'll just drop 100, I'll keep it light, but then all of a sudden you're incorporating cardio 5 days a week, that's like the same concept. You don't want to be in an extreme deficit right from the start, because your body's going to adapt. So it's mid to late April. Now all the way through May, you're going to be cutting very, very slowly, maybe 50 calories every week to every other week. I'm not even going to say 100 calories a week. That's way too much. So you're dropping very, very slow here. Maybe 100 calories every other week, depending on how fast your body adapts. But if your body adapts super duper fast, you really don't want to be in a cutting phase for too too long if you're dropping that fast. But if you drop it slow, you're going to get the best optimal results, and you can stay in that cutting phase for longer. So now it is, what did I say? Oh yeah, mid to late April, and you drop your calories. You're at 1,600 by the end of May, and you're 5 pounds down, maybe like 6 or 7, because in the beginning you do lose a couple pounds of just like water inflammation weight, so it's a little bit easier in the beginning. So let's be generous, you're 7 pounds down after 5 weeks, because the appropriate amount of weight that is the most sustainable and the healthiest amount of weight to lose is 1 to 1.5 pounds per week. And as women, our weight fluctuates a lot. Men's weight fluctuate as well, but women's, we fluctuate a lot. It goes up and down with the cycle. I don't know about you, but my weight goes up right before I start my period. It's like my body's storing it, and then it goes back down after my period. So every single week is not going to be consistent. Weight loss is not linear. You're not just going to be in a line downwards the whole time. It's going to divot. It's going to go back up. It's going to go back down. As long as the trend is going downward, that's what we're looking for with a cut. So don't think that because you lost 2-3 pounds in the first week that needs to be every single week and you need to go down like that. No, you might lose 3 pounds in the first week, maybe a pound in the second week, and then you might gain a pound the third week. It's not linear. Our body fluctuates. So that's where we're at. It's June now, June 1st. It's summer. And you're at 1,600 calories, you're 7 pounds down. This is where the timeline gets tricky, because ideally you don't want to be in that big of a cut right before summer, because you got things to do. You got barbecues, you got holidays, you got vacations. You probably want to be able to be a little bit more flexible with your diet. So I honestly, realistic timeline, if you want to lose 15 pounds before summer, I genuinely think that it should be started in like November. But that's if you are starting with a low calorie intake. Let's talk, you've been bulking. Maybe you're in this world, you know about reverse dieting, you know about metabolism, you know about all this stuff. So you spent from September to January, or let's go, yeah, September is like the first month of not really being at the beach every single day, but September to like right now, so late January, almost February, bulking, increasing your calories. So you're feeling great, you may be feeling a little puffy, feeling a little like, okay, I'm ready to lean down for summer. Maybe you're eating 2,100 calories. You are now at a place where you can eat a good amount and lose weight, and this is the position that ideally you want to be in if you want to lose 15 pounds by summer, because February to June is a much greater stretch to be in a very slow deficit, whereas if you've been chronically dieting, losing 15 pounds by summer probably isn't the most realistic thing in the world, because I would never ever recommend that you go into a further deficit if you are already chronically dieting for a year, 2 years, 3 years. Some women don't know that they've been chronically undereating for like 4+ years of their life. So it's going to take time. It takes time. So all of these quick fixes and all of these things, it's like your body is so unique to you. Your metabolism is so unique to you. So if anyone is trying to sell you on lose 15 pounds by summer, get a flat stomach by summer, get a six-pack by summer, simply because maybe like it was their results and maybe they had a healthy metabolism to start, or like they were eating an insane amount to start and maybe they were a larger person to start, yeah, it's going to be a lot easier for them to lose 15 pounds by summer, because the bigger you are, the faster you seem to lose the weight, because that's how it works. Your body has that fat to spare. It can be like, okay, we don't need this, get rid of it. But if you're already on the smaller side and you just want to get rid of that stubborn fat, going to be a lot trickier. So these fat loss should take so much more time than we allow ourselves, and that is why it becomes a vicious cycle. Year after year after year. You make the same resolutions, you make the same goal, and then every single year, for some reason, it seems harder. It's because you keep screwing up your metabolism further and further. So you're chronically dieting for years. You're eating 1,400 calories. Every single time you want to lose weight for summer, so February hits, you just jump into a crazy deficit. You're eating 1,200 calories now, and you're doing cardio. You increase your steps, you increase your workload, and now maybe you lost 5-10 pounds, and then now it's like, where do you go from there? Where do you go? Your body's adapted to that now, so then by the time the holidays come around and the back half of the year come back around, all of a sudden you're gaining weight faster than you did the year before, because it's a vicious cycle of doing the same thing year after year. So there's like that saying that the more expensive thing ends up being cheaper in the long run. Not for everything in life, but look at it like this. It's like if you buy a really cheap t-shirt, you are going to rip, you're going to tear, and you are going to, like, the seams are going to start falling out. Maybe the dryer fades it. You're going to end up buying like 10, 15, 20 of those shirts by the time that one nice quality shirt would have even started to fade or started to tear. So it's like you end up paying more if you keep going the cheaper route. And that is the same for fitness. But instead of cheap, it's quicker. You pay more when you go the quick route. If you go the long way on your fitness journey, it will last, you will feel better, and you will get out of the vicious cycle. Now this is something that I can promise you, that slow and steady with fitness truly wins the race. And if you think that that is just so cliche, like, oh my gosh, slow and steady wins the race, shut up. I'll say it a million more times. I've already said it on this podcast probably like 5 times. Cliche sayings became cliche sayings for a reason. They're not just cliches because everyone rolls their eyes at them. They're cliches because they've been said enough to enough people about enough situations that they became this universal thing that everyone should know. Not because they're just something for you to roll your eyes at. So yes, slow and steady wins the race. You need to take these things slow and stop comparing yourself to people who are way different on a way different track than you are. So if you have these goals for summer, if you have these goals for your life, that you want to look a certain way, you cannot be on a fat loss cycle your entire life. You cannot constantly be in a deficit, because simply you just won't be in a deficit until you are just unhealthy. And obviously you don't want that, because then you're deficient in nutrients, your hair starts falling out, your bones start getting frail, you don't feel good, you're moody, you're getting headaches, you lose your period, you're no longer fertile for the time being, potentially harming your fertility for a lifetime. It's not worth it. So, again, we're taking it slow. We're staying in our own damn lane this year. We're looking at where we're starting from, we're looking at where we're at, and we are going from there. So those are my most 2 common case scenarios when it comes to getting that quote-unquote summer body. You're either already in a chronic diet state and you want to lose weight, so you drop it more and blah, blah, blah. This one is where we need to start this, ideally, in the back half of the year. So maybe you're listening to this in August of 2025. Maybe you're listening to this in years down the road. I don't know. But if you are in the back half of the year right now when you're listening to this, or if you're listening to this live real time in January, you can still start. But I promise you, you will feel so much better, and for the next 10 years to come, 10 plus years to come, you will achieve that summer body almost effortlessly compared to the way it felt before. And if you are at that place where maybe you've been intentionally bulking, or you are just eating at maintenance and you feel okay, you feel pretty good, but you know you have some fat to lose. Or maybe you've just been eating horribly and you don't even know. Maybe you're not intentionally bulking, but you're bulking nonetheless. There's no shame. But this puts you at, honestly, a more optimal position for fat loss before summer, because you're not in that rebuild stage again. But again, we're staying in our own damn lanes. So even if you are on the rebuild stage, let's not look at someone who's been eating enough and see how fast they can get to their summer goals. Let's not get pissed off at them. Let's not get jealous. Let's not assume that we have the worst genetics in the entire world. Let's not assume that it's easier for them and it's harder for you. Let's just assume that their metabolic state is at a different place. Just a completely different level. Completely different time frame in their life. It's just different. You are so unique to you. Your body, what you've been doing for it for the last years and years of your life matters. And so that's why we need to start now. It's like the saying that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Second best time is right now. Because these things take time. So you can sit back and complain and do the same cycle over and over and over again. Or you can decide right now that you're going to do it the right way. It's going to take longer, but guess what? The time's going to pass anyways, and in 2 years, in 1 year, depending on where you're at, maybe it's 3 years, maybe it's 4 years, you are going to be so happy. And I can promise you that in a year's time, you will be happier with your body, with your energy, with the way you feel than you are right now. But I mean, like, to get to that point where you're like, wow, this is like my goal. Like, I love how I feel, I love how I look, everything. Obviously, this depends on where you're starting from, but the time's going to pass, so it's up to you if you want to do it the right way or if you want to continue being in the cycle, and then eventually maybe you'll do it the right way, and then you'll be kicking yourself for not starting it earlier. So, choice is yours. That is going to be where I wrap up this episode. I have some one-on-one spots open right now. You do not have to do this alone. I make your fitness health journey so easy. I take so much pride in what I do. I love the women I work with. I am genuinely cheering each and every single one of them on. I make your workouts, I make your meal plan, I make your macros, all of it. I give you daily habits, I give you resources. We talk on the phone, we do weekly check-ins through the training app. So it's just a really easy way. All you have to do is show up. I do the rest for you. So if this is something you're interested in, the link is always in the show notes below, or it'll be in the description of this YouTube video to apply for one-on-one coaching. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening or watching, whatever platform you are on. Share this with a friend, share it to your story, tag me in it so I can see it and send you all the love. It really does mean the world to me. And if you are ready to finally break the cycle, break the habit of year after year after year feeling like crap, not understanding why you can't lose weight, I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you heard this message. Like I said, I'm here to help, or even if you don't want the help, if you want to just send me a DM and be like, hey, heard your episode, I'm gonna do it, I'm so motivated, this is amazing. I love to hear that too. So thank you guys so much for listening. I will talk to you guys on Monday. I hope you guys do something this week that lifts you or someone else up. Bye!